Am I the asshole for wanting my son to walk me down the aisle at my wedding? I'm a mother of two. My son Justin, 19, and my daughter Megan, 14. Their father passed away years ago. I'm currently engaged to my fiance Kane, 41, and we're getting married soon. I already made Megan a part of the wedding, but didn't know what to do for Justin. Then this idea popped up into my head. I thought it'd be incredibly nice if Justin actually walked me down the aisle at the wedding. I brought it up to him, and he cried and agreed. I told Kane, but he wasn't happy. He said no without giving me a reason. After pressuring him to talk, he just blew up and said that I was supposed to choose a person who had an impact on my life. My father's deceased. To walk me down the aisle, not my own kid. I told him that my son is my role model. He's been through so much, like health issues and school issues. And he took care of his sisters during an incredibly difficult time and basically held the family together upon his father's passing. I told him that this is what I want to do, and if that he's not okay with it, then it's his problem. He lashed out and said, no, it's your problem. I don't want people laughing at us at the wedding. We argued about it, and then he stormed off, and now he's trying to speak to Justin, but I told him to stop. He lashed out again, saying it was wrong and selfish of me to make this kind of decision without consulting him first, and that it's our wedding, both. And not just my wedding. Am I the asshole for this decision and for choosing this as my hill to die on? We still haven't talked after that argument yet. It's a whole lot of red flags that he has such an issue with this, or an issue with this at all. Because I'm envisioning, your wedding in my mind and seeing your son walk you down the aisle, knowing the backstory that we know about your father and their father passing. I think it's incredibly sweet, and it's heartwarming, and it's a good thing. Kane, who just sounds like a villain.
Kane, you can't have your own kid in the wedding walk you down the aisle. That's not what villains do. Villains have other villains walk their villain wives down the aisle. That's the way we do it. We don't have kids walk down aisles in villain weddings.
The comment section is going to be popping with a whole bunch of narcissistic, controlling behavior comments here, and they're probably right. Number one, the fact that he can't see that this is a sentimental, good thing, and that it's something that would enhance your wedding, not take away from it. That's concerning. There's got to be some kind of deeper issue as to why he has such a problem with this. OP doesn't mention if
Kane
has kids or not.
Probably not. He's a villain.
But maybe he has kids, and the fact that she's having her son walk her down the aisle means that he then feels like he's got to find something similar for his kids. That's a possibility. It could be that he's just a villainous dick.
Because he's a villain.
No matter what, the way he handled it was the second red flag. Lashing out multiple times, not giving you any good reason for it except for saying that you shouldn't do it. I don't think you're the asshole for the decision or choosing this as your heel or choosing this as your heel to die on. He's obviously got some strong feelings here that he's having trouble explaining, so he's using caveman talk. And dudes do it whenever we don't know how to process things. It just happens. But he just grunted and said it's your problem. And that's not giving you a lot of information to work on to help solve this problem. There's no offering of pieces toward a solution here. He's just, handling it like a villain would.
Because he's Kane.
If he can't communicate in a way that's conducive to moving toward a solution, the future's not looking too bright there. So this as a hill to die on makes a whole lot of sense. I hope it goes well. I hope he figures it out. I hope you guys can figure out how to move past it. Caveat, learning to communicate and problem solve as a couple is not easy. For most couples, it's that year one of marriage that's really hard because you're learning to do that, or you're feeling the pain of not knowing how to do that yet, so you're learning out of necessity. So maybe they're just not to that phase yet where they haven't had to work through problems and figure out each other's communication styles and go through that pain of year one of marriage. It's no excuse for how he's acting, but it's a potential contributor to why it's so difficult. They're not speaking the same language yet. Not that married couples ever do speak really the same language, but they learn each other's languages enough to be able to communicate. They're not there.
Villains only speak villain.